Alright, it's time. And before all of the 4K is pointless, we don't need 4K, blah 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 comments. In this video, I'm going to show you what's required to rip 4K UHD and even HDR Blu-rays. And the requirements might surprise you. Useful tech education and gaming nostalgia that won't put you to sleep. Get subscribed and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next guide. I'm EposVox, here to make tech easier and more fun, and today we're talking about ripping those hot, new 4K ultra high definition and HDR Blu-rays. More pixels is more fun. If you're a pixel junkie like me, want to load up your Plex library with the hot new stuff to play on your new TV like I just did in a recent video, or you just want to experiment, this is the video for you. By the way, I do have an ongoing sponsorship with Plex, so if you want to check it out for free or purchase a Plex Pass or learn more about it, check out my affiliate links and video playlist linked in the video description. Alright, so to rip 4K Blu-rays, you do not need a UHD Blu-ray specific drive. In fact, the couple super expensive official UHD Blu-ray drives will not work for this process. They have encryption that cannot be bypassed this way. 4K Blu-rays are just burned to Blu-ray XL discs, which most readers can read, but only a few specific models will let you rip from them. I'll have some resources linked in the video description where they will hopefully keep an updated list of UHD-friendly drives, but currently there's like 10 available, but only 4 are reasonably priced. Here's the list. The one I usually go with is the LG WH16NS40. It was the cheapest and simplest at the time. I own 2 or 3 that are similar to this one, but they're not this exact model, so I had to pick up this one for about 50 bucks and swap out my incompatible drives. Other users strongly recommend the Asus BW16 drives, available in both internal and external USB 3 models. Apparently this version is future-proof, as potential future updates won't apply to this or something. I will have product links for all of these linked in the video description. Either way, make sure you do not update the firmware of your drive. The currently available firmwares allow for us to bypass the AACS 2.0 protection, but updated firmwares could stop this. Next, install MakeMKV if you haven't already. This is what I always recommend for getting the fastest and best quality rip of any DVD or Blu-ray. And I know or HD DVD, honestly. And I know for certain it pulls the full HDR version of the film. Theoretically, the keys we'll be getting in a minute will allow you to open 4K Blu-rays in Handbrake, VLC, and so on as well, but I have not tested this and VLC still needs the menus to be removed, so Next, you will need some hashed keys, specifically for the movies you're trying to rip. Since the encryption scheme for the whole 4K Blu-rays on format has not been 100% cracked, you're at the whim of people generating specific keys for specific films. Sometimes there are multiple keys for a film and one may not work and so on. I have a couple links in the video description for a couple things that will benefit you. The first is a hashedkeys.txt and keydb.cfg file with the keys I have accumulated so far. And the second is a Doom 9 forum thread where people are posting new keys regularly and uploading new keydb.config files with new movies being decrypted. If you do have a 4K Blu-ray that does not have a key for it, you are not out of luck, actually. Go ahead and pop the disc in your player and open it in MakeMKV, and it will generate what's called a dump file in your .makemkv folder in your user folder that I mentioned before. This will generally be called mkb20_v61_ the name of the movie. You take that file and email it to svq@makemkv.com, and they will actually generate hashed keys from that dump and then add it to the updated key list. And so at most you might have to wait a week or two, but generally speaking, they have pretty quick turnaround. And so I'll have that specific information added in the description, kind of at the top, because that's the important bit, along with the link for the updated keys. And that new link, they've kind of moved the forums around since I originally started working on this tutorial, but the new link that I will have featured towards the top of the description will have all of the updated keys for the new movies. So you can actually send in your dump and get keys made so that you can have access to your movie and be able to rip it. Put both of these files in your .makemkv folder in your user folder. If you don't have this folder yet, put in a normal Blu-ray or DVD in your drive and make MakeMKV open it to generate those preference files. The software will reference this folder when looking for keys to decrypt your disks. Next, if you have a disc that has keys for it, you should be able to open it and make MKV and rip. I've tested a few movies this way, including both Deadpool and Atomic Blonde, and both in HDR work and still work in HDR in Plex on my Samsung MU6290 TV. To make them work in Plex, simply add them to your library. However, transcoding 4K HDR Blu-rays in Plex requires a lot of horsepower. It's actually too much for my old Cinnabar dual Xeon server to handle. These are Xeon X5560s. And you will need to transcode it if you're playing it on a PC. Streaming the files to my Samsung TV worked via DirectPlay, and I had no buffering or performance problems at all, but to a PC via Chrome or the Windows 10 Plex app requires converting HDR to SDR and requires more power than I can give. I'll be releasing a video soon diving deeper into that and what kind of performance and what specs you might need. I personally do not like compressing my rips and don't usually mess with that, but this is one instance where I might actually recommend making a compressed copy via Handbrake. Personally, I will keep the full MKV rip and simply make a compressed 1080p copy to play to PC devices, but it's up to you. Space-wise, the files can vary wildly. My 4K Blu-rays, such as Deadpool and Atomic Blonde, have not been much larger than normal Blu-rays, sitting at about 36 gigs to 41 gigs for those two films respectively. But as the format becomes more popular, you could see rips as large as 80 or more gigabytes in size. Lastly, you can purchase a paid software called UHD, with quite the expensive pricing model, to rip your 4K Blu-rays. But many people in the Make MKV, Doom 9, and ripping scene to say that the UHD method of decrypting discs is obsolete and the software won't be useful for very long, on top of the fact that you can do it for free with this guide. But it is an option available to you if you wish to pay to save some time, and I can't always blame people for that. And that's it. Pixels make the world go round, and now you can get more of them for your movie rips. If you want to learn more about Plex, check out my affiliate links in the description down below. I also have links to all of the sources for this video, too, in case you want to do your own research. Otherwise, like the video if it was helpful for you, subscribe for more awesome tech content, and I'll see you in the next one.
This video is sponsored by viewers like you. Our videos would not be possible without the generosity of those of you who contribute to one of our fan funding options, be it DonorBox, Twitch subscriptions, direct contributions via PayPal, or Patreon. To join our inner circle and get behind-the-scenes looks at videos, go to EposVox.com/support to learn more, and join us on Discord at EposVox.com/Discord. Thanks.